Thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 4, I'm Kariba Devine.
And I'm Mark Curtis. As the search continues for Nancy Guthrie, the Pima County Sheriff says they're aware of a new message regarding her disappearance. They would not release, understandably, any details of what's in the message, but they do say they're investigating its authenticity.
Tram Mai is live in Tucson outside of Nancy's daughter's home, Annie's home. And Tram, what are you learning?
Yeah, just as you had said, Mark and Caribe, about that new message, we have just learned about an hour ago that one of the local TV stations here in Tucson got a new message, and apparently afterwards they forwarded it to law enforcement. I want to read to you what law enforcement said. They said the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department are aware of a new message regarding Nancy Guthrie. Investigators are actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity. So again, as we are looking at Annie Guthrie's house, we know that two of the very emotional public pleas that the family has made in search of their mother, that has been made here. But for the most part, it is very quiet here. In fact, there's only not even a dozen vehicles here from media. Very opposite of what we had seen earlier at 1 o'clock today, when we saw probably at least 36 media vehicles from national to local, and they were all swarming Nancy Guthrie's house. But again, very quiet here. The security has been here 24/7 since early in the week. We still are waiting for more details on a suspect. There's no suspect, there's no persons of interest, but what we can tell you are a few things that law enforcement has confirmed. We do know that there was blood on the porch of Nancy Guthrie. That blood tested positive for Nancy. We want to get back to that original ransom note that we have been talking about. That was sent to, again, several news outlets. And I want to stress that that ransom note still has not been determined if it is legitimate. According to one of the TV stations that got that ransom note, apparently the station says it made a specific demand for several $1 million in Bitcoin by Thursday at 5 p.m. and threatened to kill her if payment was not received by Monday. It also makes specific reference to two pieces of evidence at the crime scene, which still has not been authenticated as legitimate. The station forwarded the contents of that note to investigators and authorities. We've also not been told anything about a time frame for Monday's deadline. We know that yesterday, Nancy's son Cameron made a plea on social media shortly after 5 p.m., that Thursday deadline, saying that the family wants to talk and is waiting for contact from whoever has their mother. Cameron's message was made a day after his sisters Savannah and Anna, along with Cameron, made their first public plea on Wednesday, asking for the safe return of their mother and that they were willing to talk to the alleged kidnapper. Again, just about an hour ago, that new message that was sent to one of the TV stations and then was sent to law enforcement, who is now looking into it. We went to downtown Phoenix and we talked to some residents there who are worried, and all are hoping that Nancy will be found safe. Let's take a listen.
It's uncommon for us to have an older person abducted. Yeah. We do have silver warnings and alerts where people wander off at times, but that's not what this is. And the national coverage and everybody being here is odd.
What is your biggest concern?
My biggest concern is for her safety and for her health. I have an elderly mom who needs her medications. To go for a week without your medications is highly concerning. And I just hope that whoever's got her out there in this world has at least some sort of concern for that.
Just really surprised if it's a legitimate kidnapping to get money. It's why would they be so uncommunicative? You know, it just makes no sense to me. Furthermore, if they were intending to do that, I just can't imagine how they think they could get away with somebody with her notoriety.
You know, we're kind of in that age bracket, so this is terrorizing. I'm sure for Ms. Guthrie's mother, but I have great hopes. We have the FBI; they're talented. They've been doing these kinds of things according to the news, even in international arena. So I'm very hopeful, and I hope that is transcended to the family and to these culprits, and that she's found very quickly and she's in good health.
And I'll tell you, just talking to the residents, the folks who live here, they are heartbroken. You can just feel that heaviness. Everyone wants to be optimistic and hope for Nancy's safe return as we are now going on day 6. Again, the Pima County Sheriff's Department, they have been very tight-lipped about this investigation. They are focusing on every tip, any lead. We know that there have been hundreds of tips that have come in, but again, they are still looking to everything, trying to uncover everything. And also, too, they also want to keep their cards close. They know that possibly this suspect could be watching. So again, they don't want to tip off anything while they are still trying to look into every clue and every lead. Of course, if anyone has any information at all, please call 911 or contact Pima County Sheriff's Department. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. But really, any tip is very helpful. They will look into it. And of course, we are all praying for Nancy's safe return as a $50,000 reward is now being offered by the FBI. Back here live in Tucson, I'm Tram Mai. Mark and Caribe, back to you.
All right, Tram, thank you so much for that.